Hello again, and welcome to episode 4 of my Minecraft Let's Play here on the server. Today I thought I would show you around the server again, going farther than just my base, and thought I would show you the various farms that we've built on the server. And I'm not talking about wheat, or carrots, or potatoes, or even the sugarcane, watermelon, and pumpkin farm that I built. I'm talking about farms for items like iron, gold, gunpowder, stuff like that. So that's the plan for today. And I know if you're kind of wondering, is all he's going to do is show us around the farms and do tours? That's not everything that I have planned. And honestly, I was intending to do something different today, but I ended up running out of time, and I'm going to be very busy this weekend, so I wanted to get at least something up for you guys. So hopefully next week I'll have something a little different, a little more exciting or involved for you, and we'll be getting on the way with the good stuff. So for now, stick around and we'll take a look around the server. Since we're over here, I kind of figured I would show you the mob farm first. And basically all this is just a really dark room. Mobs can only spawn in darkness, so that's why you light up your worlds with torches or sea lanterns or redstone lamps or glowstone or even fire or lava, I guess. But that's not always the best thing, because mobs drop useful items, like creepers drop gunpowder, which you can make TNT out of, or skeletons drop bones and you can make bone meal out of it, and you can grow trees faster, stuff like that. So I built this mob farm so that even if we have the world lit up, we'd still be able to get those items. And it's 5 levels, and it's a really simple mechanism that just uses dispensers with water buckets. And it's on a timer, so as this timer goes, the redstone just fires the dispensers, which then releases the water, pushes the mobs to the middle, and then they drop onto these hoppers, which collect the items, throw them into the sorting system, and then anybody can come here and grab their items. So it's a pretty simple but very effective system. And you can see there you got some mobs already dropping for us. And it's got pretty good rates. I recommend people build them, but it is very item intensive. Obviously it's a pretty big structure. And you'll have to build it a long ways above the world, because it relies on spawn rates, and if you build it too close to the ground, then the mobs spawning in caves underneath are going to affect the mob cap in your spawner. So that's why I have it so high up here. The next thing you'll see here is an iron farm, and this is a small version of it. I actually have a larger iron farm at the spawn point that we're going to go take a look at. But this is my personal iron farm, and honestly I haven't even used it in a while. But I'll try to describe this a little more when we get to the full-size one that I built at the spawn point. Down here, you might be wondering what this is, with all the nether portals here. And what it actually is a gold farm. And basically the way this works is zombie pigmen, which is a mob in the nether, will sometimes come through nether portals. And the bigger the nether portal you have, the more likely they are to come in. So it's a pretty simple system, very similar to the slime farm, which I'll show you here in just a bit. But the zombie pigmen basically just come through the nether, fall into the water, and the water pushes them into cactus, and then hoppers gather their items, and then an elevator brings them up to this chest. So now, I guess since I just mentioned the slime farm, we'll go there next, and I'll try to explain how that works. So this is the slime farm, and it's actually extremely low tech. All it is several layers of stone floor, spaced out to, I think, 4 spaces. Might be 3. But what this allows for is there are select areas of the map. They're called slime chunks. And I think it's 10% of the chunks in a map are slime chunks. So you can either dig holes in certain ways that make it so you have one hole per chunk and try to find slimes that way. And they spawn below level 40 on your map. So you can try to find slimes that way, or you can look it up online using your world seed. But once you find your slime chunk, all you have to do is dig out a room that's the size of the chunk, under level 40, and then space out floor levels that are spaced out far enough that large slimes can spawn. And there are ways to actually increase the rates slightly by putting, say, iron golems like on the wall or something, because the slimes will actually attack the iron golems. But you don't really need to do that. They'll eventually jump off on their own, and they'll fall into the water down here, which, just like the gold farm, will push them into the cactus, and then eventually they'll wind up in an item elevator and in chests up here, like I showed you in the first base tour that I did. So there's nothing real tricky. The nice thing about slimes is they'll spawn in full light. So if you just want slime, then you just light up the room, and all you'll get is slime balls because it'll be too bright for any other mobs to spawn. So it's a pretty convenient farm without having to do too much redstone or anything like that. And in fact, you don't have to do any redstone if you really don't want to. You just have to have hoppers. So that's the slime farm. Alright, so I said earlier that I had larger iron farms. And unfortunately, this cloud is covering a good chunk of it. But these are the iron farms that I was talking about. They're about double the size of what I have at my base. And they have quite a bit higher rate of output because there's so many of them. High enough, in fact, that I've just built this huge system down here to house all the iron that we get. But basically the way it works is the villagers in here, there's enough villagers that the game considers this a village, and if there's enough villagers, then the game will spawn an iron golem to protect them. So then iron golem just spawns in the water, it pushes them in, and then the lava kills them, and that's it. There's almost no redstone to it. The only redstone I have is just to drop the iron only into those chests. The other, I guess, mechanic is you have to have your farms far enough apart that the game doesn't merge the villages. So that's why, obviously, I have these stacked so tall. And I also have them stacked quite a ways apart. They have great output, and it's pretty fun to actually watch them fall from the top. And you can kind of see them, as you can see, there's 3 here actually, and they're pushing each other around and not letting the one go in. But eventually they'll fall through the hole, and it's pretty funny because they fall through that hole, and then this water just pushes them along, and eventually they fall into this lava, and lava kills them, and we have iron. It's that easy. So, let's see if I can show you. So here's all of our iron. And it hasn't filled up yet. I think we're still on the first stack here. But it's starting to fill up, as we just haven't spent enough time at the iron farm to have it go. We haven't had anybody AFK here in a long time. So, the next farm I think I'm going to show you is the experience farm we have, but it's in the nether, so I'm going to leave you for a second, and when I see you next, we'll be in the nether. So you can see in the distance there, I'm coming up pretty close, this is the experience farm, and it's also a blaze farm, and this one just uses a little bit of redstone, and this is one that if you need me to explain it, I can either make another video or I can actually put the tutorial that I followed to make it in the description. But it's really pretty straightforward. There's just a little bit of simple redstone to do, but it relies on lava lighting to keep blazes from spawning when you don't want them to. And then all that you have to do is wait for them to fall down here, and it automatically damages them to the point where you don't even need a sword. You just hit them once with your fist, and they die. And then these hoppers will just pick up the blaze rods and put them in there for us. So it's got pretty good rates. Earlier today, I think I went from 25 to level 40 in about 10 minutes, and I didn't have to do anything. I just set my character up here, walked away and did something else for 10 minutes, and came back, and it was that easy. So I'll try to remember to throw that in the description, and if you guys want to build it, I highly recommend it. Alright guys, we're now coming up to the last farm I'm going to show you for today. And this is actually a guardian farm. And for those of you who don't know, there's a thing in Minecraft now, and they're called ocean monuments. And as you can probably tell from the name, they're out in the middle of the ocean. And if you can find them, they have guardians in them, and it's also where you get sponges. So if you can find them and clear them out like this, there's a way to make a farm that makes it so it kills guardians for you automatically, and then guardians actually drop materials to make sea lanterns. And the reason that's important is because sea lanterns actually look good. That's what these are right here. And they put out quite a bit of light, and they don't need redstone to turn them on. They're just on as they are, so it's a free source of light that looks a lot better than torches or glowstone, depending on your layout. So this is the farm that the other two guys made, and it's been really nice having this. So if you can figure out how to make one and find one, be my guest. They're kind of large and resource heavy, but if you can find one and get one built, it's really nice to have. But like I said, I think that's the last one I'm going to show you for today. So thanks for watching. Like I said, I wish I could have made a different video today. Hopefully I'll be able to make that one next week. But I'm actually going to Nebraska this weekend, and I'm going to be gone through Sunday sometime evening. So I'm hoping to get this edited and thrown up before we take off tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully you'll be able to watch this on Sunday, and if not, sorry for the late upload, but I'll do everything I can to get it up in time. Thanks for watching, and come back next week.